All right, so we're here with Matt Waite at C2E2. Thanks for coming out, Matt.
How's it going?
Full disclosure, me and Matt have actually known each other for almost 2 decades now.
It's about 18 years now.
Going on 2 decades. And one of the things, since we've known each other for so long, that I actually wanted to talk about for our listeners to hear is it's kind of your journey from an up-and-coming artist, coming out arts, to actually now having a booth with Marvel published covers on your table, you know, your original art, your upcoming series and stuff like that. Explain to us kind of like how that process was for you, because I do remember the days of you carrying around a big folder and standing in some long lines trying to get seen.
I do miss those days sometimes, but yeah, so back when I started out, dropped out of college because I didn't feel that I needed to spend $100,000 to get a sheet of paper to tell me that I could draw. So I started pulling off some fan art and then coming to the conventions and starting in 99 and talking to a lot of the artists, talking to a lot of the publishers. Okay, what do I need to do to get some work going? So they directed me to do not so much fan art, but start looking towards sequential art. You know, how basically storyboarding for movies.
Okay.
And then start doing that, come back the next year, we'll take a look, and then we'll tell you where you need to improve.
Yeah, so it was a multi-year process of finding out what they wanted you to see, you know, what they wanted you to show them, and it was just constantly being persistent in their needs and what they were looking for.
Yeah, so every time I did it, it came above and beyond. So, okay, let's try this next, let's try this next. First big break happened San Diego Comic-Con 2008. So you're going from 98 to 2008.
Yeah, so we're talking
2007.
We're talking about a decade of grinding, just constantly churning out artwork,
travel,
honing your craft, meeting the people that you needed to meet, making sure that you weren't roaming around a con looking at cool stuff, that you were standing in line waiting to make sure you talked to who you had to talk to.
Hours long lines just to talk to an editor or a certain artist that a lot of the stuff I learned from artists is, okay, try X, Y, and Z in your art. Thicker lines, more emotion, just how to do the basic layouts. That's the thing is with the artist community, we're so small and niche that we actually take care of each other. Okay, we'll try, especially up-and-comers, because they're the next generation that's coming up. So,
who would you say was most kind of, maybe not necessarily influential on your artwork, but who was the guy that kind of always turned you in the right direction as you were going? Either the one or few artists that you could give direct credit to?
The first person that actually gave me nods was Dennis Calero. Then right behind him was Mark Brooks. And then C.B. Sobolski took notice of me a while back also. My influence work basically is Brooks and Stuart Eminem and Doc Shadner. So those are the 3 guys I look towards that my style kind of contours. Not so much Brooks now, but Brooks 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
Very clean, very precise. But those are the 3 influencers of my whole everything that I do now.
So 10 years of talking to these artists, networking, standing in the lines brings us to San Diego Comic-Con 2008. So what was it at San Diego Comic-Con in 2008 that changed everything for you?
I did a portfolio review with DC Comics. My very first break into comics was the Green Lantern movie.
Okay. There's not too many positive things many people can say about that Green Lantern movie. You were probably in a very selective group that will credit that movie with being a very positive influence on your life.
I will love that movie till the day I die. Right down to the CGI costume and everything.
I don't know if Ryan Reynolds is on a panel here. He might fight you if he hears you say that too loud.
I will still fight to the death that was a great movie in my eyes.
So what was it about the Green Lantern movie that they had you working on that really got you some limelight?
I helped with the final licensing and brand costumes and costume designs and character designs.
Okay.
So the last little tweaks that they needed. So that's where I started out. Then from there, it started off. My main niche now is the video game covers, which actually spawned off of a what I like to call Shiggles piece. And it started with Valiant. So I did a Christmas card saying, I've known the guys for years and years and years. So I did their characters as 8-bit sprites, and they're like, hey, we happen to know that we're going to be doing some video game covers, and we like these, so we're going to use these. And then that blew up where I did the homage covers to video games and comics. Then Marvel took notice, and he's like, we want this now too. So Valiant tried to put the kibosh on that right away, trying to assign me to
trying to make it exclusive, yeah.
But they wanted me exclusive for 20 covers, and Marvel wanted me for 6. I ran the numbers, business decision wise, I had to go with Marvel.
Exposure and whatnot.
Not even so, just the monetary. Okay. 20 covers was still $500 less than what Marvel was paying me to do 6.
Okay.
That was just a smart business decision.
And from what I know about those 6 covers you did for Marvel, they were some of the more well-received covers in the last few years even.
Yep. It's the 3rd highest Deadpool valued behind New Mutants 98 and I think X-Force 2 or X-Force 6 or one of them.
So now from San Diego Comic-Con 2008 to now, with you having, those 6 Marvel covers on your belt, knowing that one of your covers is one of the most sought after covers of that character, if not covers in Marvel generally, what did that kind of do for your confidence as from now on when you go to pitch your work and things like that? Because when you're walking around as a young guy with a portfolio, you look. You had fear in your eyes. I know you had fear in your eyes.
Fear in your eyes. You're trying to not explain things away, like, "Oh, I was tired. I didn't know," but you're just like holding your tongue. And the first time I got my Marvel cover, I was over the moon. I just happened to get an email saying, "Hey, we want you for 6, and then this is what we're going to do." And one of our mutual good friends loves Darkhawk, and I was a huge X-23 fan. The first cover I did had both of them on it, so it's just like, it was kismet,
Yeah, you get to throw those little signature things in on a widely published comic.
Yeah. The very first book that I got to do for Marvel was my favorite cover and my best friend's favorite character also, so that was just a huge, it was going to be great. And seeing some of the stuff that I did, like the Taco Time cover, go into Hot Topic and get licensed out into Loot Crate, Hot Topic, and other T-shirt.
You kind of know you hit something, some gold if once you get bootlegged a few times.
Yeah.
And
there's many bootlegs.
And China's really kind of stealing the thunder. That's when kind of you've hit a certain mark in the artistic community.
Yeah, so, and then there's other people trying to do what I do, and they don't do it well, because they don't, I like to take time to make sure that the characters fit the homage. Other people just like to throw 2 things together and try to make something.
There's not just a magic 8-bit wand that you can hit to get the kind of feel that you get from a lot of these
covers. And a lot of people just like to run it through a Facebook filter where I'm actually going in, filling in every pixel. Some of the stuff that I did for Frankie'sComics.com lately, there's 500,000 pixels in those.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man 300 homage cover that I did for Spider-Man 1, the Immortal Hulk #1, those are 500,000 pixels. So, I'm going in, I'm filling in quickly, but I am still filling in.
Yeah, no, it's the difference between a handmade chair and a machine-made chair. There's the nuances that you
it's
don't
cleaner,
get.
It looks better. It's overall just the aesthetics look better.
So that brings us up to our current date. What are you currently working on right now?
Currently, I'm still doing covers with Marvel and with Frankie's. And I've got a couple creator owns that I'm going to be working on. And then on top of that, I'm hoping within the next couple weeks to launch a webcomic, an all ages, female little girl driven story about what happens after you beat a video game, and the video game happens to be Zelda.
Okay. So basically a post-credits, after Gandalf goes down, you find the silver arrow, you take them out, the credits roll, little kid shuts off the game.
Yep.
What's going on in that golden cartridge after it's all said and done?
Yeah, because you go right back to the start. How do you get back to that start?
Okay. So it's basically how the world of Zelda recycles upon every powering on.
Yep. And I think it's a relatively good twist at the end, or actually kind of the beginning. And it's just about the journey on how it's a cycle. It's always a cycle. So it's a great story. So hopefully within the next, I'm hoping within the next 4 weeks, I'm going to be able to launch that. I'll let the Nerd Cantina have the exclusive on that.
All right.
When we do the launch on that,
we'd love to have you back, and we'll launch that nice and proper for you. So no, it'd be exciting. So I appreciate you taking time out of the con schedule. I know you got merchandise to sell and fans to talk to. So I wish you luck with the web series, and you keep in contact with us and let us know what's going on.
Sounds good.
Thanks
Appreciate
a lot.
it.